So, Sierra, you just can't stay out of the hot water, can you, sis? I'm like, oh my. Hey guys, thanks so much for clicking on the video. This is my review for Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. This is season 9, episode 3. Listen, we start right off where we left off. Carly and Sierra, baby, is pulling and tugging and carrying on, and then we look and their Sierra's assistant was thumping on Carly. Like, as you see the slow footage, baby, she was giving Carly this, honey. Yakum, yakum, yakum. I said, oh, wait a minute. She was really fighting. I was like, oh, somebody better get her. So she was tearing Carly up back there. I said, oh, my. Okay. So I didn't catch that last week. And I just kind of looked and I was like, oh, my. Anyway, let's go on over to Light Skin Keisha. I hate this name. Light Skin Keisha and Kaka over at their house. Shout out YouTube kids, basically. YouTube and Instagram kids. They're having fun. They are living their best life. They do pranks on each other and stuff. They live the whole YouTube life, basically. And they got good views and stuff. They're living their best life. They're having themselves a good time. And they both just happen to do music and they've landed themselves a spot on this show. Kudos to them. I ain't mad with them, okay? And they're doing well for themselves. But I saw a little thing there where she wants to be married and things like that. And I don't get that from him. I felt like he's putting her off. So we'll just keep watching them and see how that goes. Yeah, yeah. And I think the following was actually hers, and I think he's the Klingon. Actually, that's my version of what I see from them. Let's move on. Sierra and Bambi have a little chat, and Sierra says that she literally has cussed out her assistant about the fact that she had banged on Carly like that, you know, and that she didn't really appreciate that. Bambi's like, well, I mean, you know, your assistant is your assistant, and she probably knows the frustration that you have with Carly, and she just acted out on it. Carly was sitting at the same time talking to Rashida, and she feels as though she was set up. She was set up, and that basically Sierra put everything together that way, and it was all a plan for the assistant to bang on Carly like that. And she said, and she's pressing charges. She ain't playing no games. She's pressing charges. I said, oops. Now, hey, listen, it is what it is. I ain't even taking a side. If somebody had banged on me the way that girl was banging on Carly's head, child, Sierra, you get what you get. Cause one, you ain't had no reason really to put your hands on Carly. You mugged her all in her face, and then your assistant took it up. It looks bad. No matter how you slice it out, it looked bad. Is it cold-blooded of her to throw another lawsuit at you, knowing that you having the problems you having? Yeah, it's cold-blooded, but was it cold-blooded of you to mug her in her face and your assistant to bang her in her head? Yeah, it was. So it just kind of, every action has a reaction. So I'm just going to leave that there. Y'all tell me how y'all feel. I'll read it in the comments, but I ain't going back and forth with y'all because I really don't have a stance on it. So I'm not going to argue back and forth, but I would love to know what y'all think. I love to know what y'all think, but I ain't going back and forth. Yeah, child, just remember, yakum, yakum, yakum. I said, girl, tore up, honey. Anyway, moving on. Let's go to Scrappy's party. Scrappy had the party that Mama D gave, and everybody was there. So we got to see like people that we haven't seen yet this season. We see Scrap De Leon, found out that he is done with his parole and he actually has custody of the kids. So I was shocked that the women actually said, yeah, gave him his sons. I said, okay, must be a Southern thing. But yeah, he got his boys with him and he seems to be doing really, really well. He looks good and everything. We see Spice. I said, oh, look at Spice. Y'all know I like me some Spice. And she's actually working on music with Shaggy. I said, come on, Spice. So we seen her. Then we see Mama D. Mama D looked really, really good. And Mama D, she feeling good too because she's sticking her nose in other people's goddamn business. She go over there to Kirk and Rashida and get to telling them about Shirley. And tell them, now, y'all ain't right now. Y'all know Shirley, my girl, me and Shirley be talking. And then she told Kirk, and they put all the blame on Kirk. But Shirley's ass is out of order, from what I'm hearing. She's out of order. She over there selling clothes out of their store. She making money and their sales going down. Shirley out of order, period. Anyway, in the midst of that, Shirley come through. She's invited to the party. And she rolled up and they start talking. Kirk basically said, listen, it was what it was. Kirk sent someone down there to replace Shirley. Shirley come back up to Atlanta. He sent somebody to Houston. The sales for the store went up 85%. Shirley was down there sabotaging. And that's what they were telling her. All you had to do is say you wanted to come home. And we'd have just went ahead and hired somebody and brought you on home. And Shirley, she ain't admitting to no wrong. She's like, no. But I ain't feeling what Shirley's selling. And Mama D, mind your damn business. Moving on. Tokyo Vanity was at the party. We found out that she done lost her virginity. Somebody that found her baby and banged her box out. I said, somebody done got hold to her baby. Then we see Shekinah, Bambi, and Spice. They're all having a conversation. Light-skinned Keisha's name come up. Honey, Bambi gives, I don't see it for her. Shekinah, another Mama D, she a baby Mama D. She wants to intervene and stick her nose in. I said, oh, Lord. Shortly after that, Cece shows up, which is Bambi's mom. Her and Mama D still ain't getting along. They was falling out. They still on the outs. She shows up. Mama D left. She said, I ain't fooling with that bitch. She left. I said, now this is a new Mama D. You left the party that you threw. Girl, you better than me. I said, okay, but she left. She didn't want to show out. She left. But it was a nice party. It really was. Scrappy was really surprised. He looked good too. He looked nice. Love that damn coat he had on. Sierra and Rashida end up meeting up. Because, I'm about tired, real tired, of seeing Sierra cry and her makeup running already. Baby, you wear a lot of makeup, Sierra. A lot of makeup. And baby, this been like 3-4 scenes already. Out of these few little episodes, she crying and this makeup is running. I'm like, girl, pouring down her face like somebody was painting a house. I said, oh my gosh. But she's worried about Carly and whether or not she's going to press charges. But you weren't worried about all that when y'all was doing all that show and out y'all was doing. But whatever. And then her attorney ends up showing up. And the attorney actually has the video footage that's going to exonerate her from the charges at the funeral. So now all she got to worry about is Carly. I said, a mess. We had a scene with Stevie and Mimi. Wasn't all that interesting at all. They basically talked about marriage and past hurt on Mimi's part. She was saying, I guess Stevie was pushing up on her, as he usually does. And she was saying she was hoping that he wasn't trying to screw up what he got going on with Faith, because what he got going on with Faith is the only reason why she getting child support checks now. So she ain't here for it. But, he apologized to her for the past hurts that she had. They're talking about her getting married to Ty. I'm like, whatever. Moving on. Jock ends up Jock done open up. He's opening up a new club, so they're having a club walkthrough. It's Shekinah who's there, and there's Keisha, light skinned Keisha, and that Coco. And Shekinah done invited Scrappy and Bambi, but she ain't tell them till later on. So they tested the food, and then they come in, and it ended up being this whole explosion. It just completely went left. Bambi came in, and I just got to say, Bambi wrong. Bambi wrong. Bambi done rolled up in there. Bambi, you got a whole thing. I guess you're tired of sitting at home now. You need a storyline, Bam. So here we go. You got a whole argument going about another bitch's man. Are we actually getting ready to do this? We get ready to let Bambi create a whole storyline about somebody else's man. So that's her thing. She got a beef now with Keisha because Keisha was dating. Keisha came and took Coco off of Bambi's girlfriend. Whatever, Bam. And you came down there and she said, coming in, she specifically came to let Keisha know that I don't mess with you. Well, who are you? And that's exactly what that Keisha gave her. She gave her, girl, you're nobody, bitch. And I don't fuck with you. Who cares? I said, oh. So she wasn't the one to roll up on like that. I said, oh. And Bambi was wrong. I don't care what nobody say. Bambi wrong. You ain't even been doing things. You came up out of the house to create a storyline arguing with somebody about a man that ain't got nothing to do with you. Bye, Bam. Bye. And I like Bambi and Scrap, but Bye, Bambi. Take your ass on back home. See you. Bye. For 2-3 seasons, you've been holding on to Scrappy with your nails dug in his back and playing referee between your mother-in-law and your mama. That was more interesting. About you sitting up trying to create an argument about somebody else's man? Bye, girl. I ain't buying it. I ain't trying to hear it. Anyway, moving on. We go down to the church house. Sierra and Rashida are there. Carly and Spice are there. So they bring them together. Sierra gets to crying, that makeup's running again. And all of that. She apologized to Carly. Y'all know Carly, child. Carly told her, girl, listen here. My best friend's name is Karma. And she's going to bite you in your ass, Sierra. And Sierra's like, well, Carly, I mean, I'm apologizing and I want you back as a friend. But if you don't want to be friends anymore, that'll be fine. But this, that, and she's doing all this crying. And she said, Carly said in her confessional, she just worried about me suing her. I don't believe she ever loved me or ever cared about me. And that's what she told her. She says, listen, she said, I forgive you, but I don't feel like anyone has my back. And hopefully one day I can trust you again. You know what? I'm sorry, y'all, but I'm going to have to side with Carly. I'm going to have to side with Carly. I truly believe if it wasn't for her maybe pressing the charges, that apology wouldn't have happened. I really do. Child, makeup running and all. Anyway, all right, y'all. I'm going to talk to y'all later.